Hello, welcome to our Java programming series, topic number 19, Java files. Please do not forget to like and subscribe and ring the bell so that you could get the latest videos of SirParts online. And there you go, guys. I hope you learned something in our tutorial, and please feel free to write your comments if you have some problems with our tutorial, and also you could give feedback in order to improve our videos. So let's start for our topic, Java files. So Java files. File handling is an important part of any application. Java has several methods for creating, reading, updating, and deleting files. Java file handling. The file class from the Java.io package allows us to work with files. To use file class, create an object of the class and specify the file name or directory name. So this one is the code in order to import the file class. You have import java.io.file. Take note on the capitalization of your file here. That should be capital, and for IO should be in lowercase. If you are not able to do that, it would create an error. Another is this one. You are going to create a new file, which the name of the file is filename.txt. You can modify this one. You can write anything here. Let's say, for example, if you want to create your name.txt, meaning that's a text file. And you can also create an HTML file or other files that you want. The file class has many useful methods for creating and getting information about files. So these are the different examples. We have the different methods and the type and the description. Can read. This type is Boolean. So as what we have before, Boolean has two values, that is true or false. So can read, it tests whether the file is readable or not. Can write. The type is Boolean, and it tests whether the file is writable or not. Then this one, create new file. Still a Boolean, and it creates an empty file. The delete. It's a Boolean, and it deletes a file. Exists. The type is Boolean, and it tests whether the file exists. We also have get name. It's a string, and it returns the name of the file. We also have get absolute path. The data type for this is a string, and it returns the absolute path name of the file. The length. The type of length is long. It returns the size of the file in bytes. The list. It's a string. It returns an array of the files in the directory. mkdir or make directory. It's a Boolean, and it creates a directory, or it creates a folder. Java create and write two files. To create a file in Java, you can use the create new file method. This method returns a Boolean value, true if the file was successfully created and false if the file already exists. Note that the method is enclosed in a try-catch block. This is necessary because it throws an input-output exception if an error occurs, if the file cannot be created for some reason. So we have now our code here. for creating a file. So you have there the import java.io.file. This is very important that you include this one. If you will not include this one, it will not run. It would produce an error. Then also you need to import the java.io exception. Take note on this one, this should be in capital and this one is in lowercase. Okay, so we have now the file name. The class name is file code. So same also with our file name. That should be filecode.java. Then we have the public static void main string args, and after that we have the try and catch. No, you try this one, and if ever there's an error, this particular catch method will work. No, it will display an error occurred. If this will be okay, there's no problem. It will create a file. It will create a file. If that is already created, if file name .txt is already created, it will display. The else here will work. It will displays file already exists. So let's try to run the program so that we could see what is the output of this program. So file code. So we are going to go to run, and we're going to edit the run, and we will have file code. Okay, so we already have that file code, and let's save, and let's try to click run. Okay, file created, file name .txt. Therefore, if we're going to look at our code, this particular in the try, this particular code executes. Why? Because there's no file existing on the file name .txt. No, so this one executes. So since we already create the file, let's try to run the program again, and it will not display file created. It will display file already exists. So let's try to run that. Here you go. It says file already exists because we already ran it twice. So where is that file? So this is this file name .txt, this one. And let's try if we have some errors. No, let's say let's try to put some errors here. Let's say let's put letter there, save, and then let's try to run if this will work. Run. There's an error. The error is on A. There's error on A, and yeah, so we can delete that A. What possible error? If there are other errors, no, this particular catch here will run. I don't know how to create an error for that, but in our next example we can see that one. Okay, so let's try to save, and that's it. And we will proceed now to our next example, wherein we are going to create a file in a specific directory. So we need to disable this one. Also in the above code, we're going to disable that. And okay, this one, we are going to enable this one, this particular code. This is code for creating a file for a specific, no, a specific directory. Okay, let's try to run. This is our specific directory. We include that here, and let's try to save, and we're going to run that. Okay, so this is the problem. You can see here, error occurred. Where can we see that in our code? This one, the catch IO, the exception E. So this one displays an error occurred because there's an error. There's an error. So what's that error? So let's try to read the CMD, no? Java.io exception. The system cannot find the path specified. A Java-based Java.io. Create file exclusive. So what is important here is that you can see here the system cannot find the path. So therefore, our path, there's a problem with our code, the path of our code. So this is the problem. This is because we don't have my name in users. Let's try to see. Let's try to change this, and we will create a folder. We will create a folder in C, no? Like I will go here. We have Java codes, so I will put Java codes here. C Java codes. Then I will create another folder. SirParts. Okay, Java codes. With Java codes, I'll create a folder here, new folder, SirParts. Okay, that's the folder. And let's try to run again our program. And still the same. Why is that so? Let's try to check. No, let's try to check our code. Did we save it? That's the question. Did we save it? Let's try to save. Java code, select file name, the text. Okay, let's try to save it and run again. Sometimes you forget to save your file. Yeah, there you go. File created, file name .txt, absolute path, C Java code, SirParts file name .text. That's because we already created the path, no, the correct path. If there's no correct path, that would be an error. So let's try to see now our folder SirParts if that particular file is created. So I'm going to navigate here. I'm already in Java codes, and I'm going to click SirParts folder, and there you go. You have the file name .txt, and it's created at 10:46 a.m. And that's it, guys. We were able to create a code on a specific, on a specified folder. So let's proceed now to our next topic. But before that, we're going to disable this first using multi-line comments, and let's proceed now to our next subtopic, which is write to a file. So in the following example, we use the file writer class together with its write method to write some text to a file we created in the example above. Note that when you are done writing to the file, you should close it with the close method. So this is now the code, guys, for writing a text, no? Okay, this one. So we still have the try and the catch. The catch is used to catch the error if there's an error. And on this case, we have the try. We use the file writer. So the name of our file writer is my writer as new file writer. Later on in OOP, Java OOP, object-oriented programming, you will learn about this one, no? But for now, just copy that as it is, no? So we created a file. The purpose of the file writer is to write in the file. So the file name is filename.txt. We already created that in our previous example. And this particular code, my writer.write, and this particular text, files in Java might be tricky, but it is fun enough. So I want you, we're going to open now our text, no, in our program. This is the, okay, so file. This is the file name. As you can see here, it's empty. Nothing is inside that particular file, no. Nothing is seen. Nothing is seen on this particular file. So what we do now is we're going to run the program, and let's try to see if this particular information is written on that particular file. And please do not forget to close that. And this one is to just display successfully wrote to the file. This prompts the user of the program that a file is written, and that the information is files in Java might be tricky, but it is not enough. So let's try to save this and run this program. File, save, and run the program. Where's run? Run. Successfully root to the file. So let's try to open the file. So this is the file name, and you can see here 1 KB. And with that, let's try to open. There you go. You can see now that text files in Java might be tricky, but it is fun enough. Okay, so let's try to type another here. And we still write. Okay. Let's copy this and copy and paste that here. And yeah, let's try. You can do it. Okay, then let's try to save, and let's see. Let's try to run this one. Run again this program. And what happened now? What happened to our program? Did we save it? Let's save, and it's not working. Why is that so? Let's try to save, and let's try to run. Okay, successfully wrote to the file, and let's try to open that. Okay, I guess it's because we didn't we opened the file, and we opened the file. There you go. You can see here, you can do it. Okay, so we did that. I think the loading part there is because that particular file is still open, maybe. And let's now proceed to our next topic. So we were able to write information on our file. So let's proceed now with the next subtopic here. We will disable first, which is reading a file. So read the file. In the previous example, you learned how to create and write a file. So in the following example, we use the scanner class to read the contents of the text file we created in the previous example. So here is the file. And we import the information here. We have the java.io.file, the java.io.file.found exception, and the java.util.scanner. So same, our name is file code, and we have the try and the catch. So if there's an error, it will be catch here, and there you go. File my object, file with scanner. So file my object is the name of our file my object. We created a new file, which is file name.txt, the one that we put some information there, no? And then we have here the scanner my reader, new scanner my object, and we use a while loop my reader that has next line. We created a string. The variable is data, then equals to my reader that next line. So that will be the my reader that next line will be saved in data. Then after that, we are going to print the data. Okay, so the value of the my reader that next line will be put there in data, and then after that we are going to display that data. Okay, so let's try to run this. File, save, and run. Okay, so we can see here on screen, files in Java might be tricky, but it is fun enough. You can do it. Okay, so we were able to read particular file. So let's try to disable this one before proceeding to our next subtopic for files. Okay, our next topic is get file information. To get more information about a file, use any of the file methods. So you have here our code. Let's try to enable this one. So what are these methods here? We have the get name, we have the get name, we have the get absolute path, we have a boolean that can write, we also have that can read, and we also have the dot length to measure the size of our file. And you have here, if the file does not exist, it will display the file does not exist. So let's try to run this one, run this code, and we're going to get the different information of our file name.txt. So you have the code here, if else. So if my obj that exists, so this particular codes will run. If not, this will display. So let's try to run, file save, and run this one. Then you have there the information, file name.text. The absolute path is Java codes file name.text. It's writable, the value is true. The readable, it's true. And the file size in bytes is 66. So that works, no? And let's try to copy first this one. I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to put it here temporarily, paste, and I'm going to replace that one, and I'm going to delete. We're going to delete now this file name.text. Why we're going to delete that? So that we could experience if that particular object file name.text does not exist, this particular line of code, the file does not exist, will show on screen. So let's try to save that and run the code. So let's run. There you go, the file does not exist. So that's correct, no? So we're going now to okay, we're going to run this, disable this one in order to proceed with the next subtopic, no? For the next subtopic, it's about delete a file. Delete a file in Java, use the delete method. So as you can see here, we import java.io.file, and we created a file object, and the file name is filename.txt. So if my object that delete, system deleted the file, and if not, it will display failed to delete. Let's try to run this one. I know we don't have the file name.txt because we transferred that in SirParts. And let's try to run what would be the output for this particular program. There you go, it displays the file does not exist. Why is that so? Because there you go, yeah, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. And why it doesn't exist, you can see there, because we're using the my object. Did we save this? Let's try to save, and no, we were not able to what's that, change this one. that was the previous program, I guess. We're not able to disable the last program, did we? Let's try to save and click run. There you go. There you go. Failed to delete the file, and you can have that here. Okay, where is that? There you go. failed to delete the file. Why? Because we don't have the file. So what we're going to do is we're going to transfer now our file name.txt that we're going to copy this, and we're going to paste that here so that we could have the file name. No, we could have the file name. So let's try to delete the file name.txt, and let's try to run this again, the program, by, by running the run. There you go, deleted the file name.txt. So let's now see the codes in the program. If file name.txt is there, it's no longer found here because we already deleted the file. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much, and I hope you find our tutorial interesting, especially that right now you already know how to create a file. You know already how to put information in your file, and then after that you know already how to delete a file. So I hope you enjoy. Please try to comment, no, if you have some problems with your codes. And yeah, always remember, learning is lifetime. Bye everyone.